Well, what do we have here, Limbus Company? 37 seconds ago, we have Udjat Outis, Index Faust. We are going to get right into this by doing a little bit of analysis. Boom! We have two double pages. Obviously, they are both double page IDs, and it's going to be very exciting. Now, first things first, before we get into it, as per usual, everything we say here or review here is before the numbers and gameplay are revealed. If you want my personal opinion, we'll be playing it on the day, and any thoughts and adjustments might change. But skipping over all the boring stuff, let's have a look at LCA Udjat, Team 3 Vanguard. Outis, she is the main banner, the first one, so she's the front, so she'll do her first. We have a Pride, Sloth, Gloom, / Pierce. And she is Tremor Sinking. Also, she is so baddie. Alright, getting right into this, let's zoom on in and have a read. 2 coin, Kopesh Swordplay, Pride. On use, gain aggro to this skill slot next turn, so she has aggro. On use, gain coin power for every sinking tremor on target, and on use, if the unit has Udjat Vanguard, gain clash power. Clash when inflict shoot fracture. Okay, on the first coin, inflict both sinking count and tremor count, and the second one is protection. Okay, so Udjat's gimmick in Library of Runa was protection based, so it looks like that is going to be the continued theme here. Very simple skill 1. Protection on a skill 1 is very, very big, so it's probably only going to be like 1 protection. Sinking count most likely be -1 at most. So far, very simple. I'm curious what this shoot fracture is, and I'm curious what this Udjat buff is, but we'll get into that. Next is the 3 coin skill 2, Sloth / Mirage Incision. On use, gain aggro as well to the skill slot next turn. Coin power again for every sinking tremor on target. Again, if the unit has Udjat, she gains clash power and deals more damage. She again inflicts this shoot fracture on clash win. Her first and second coin inflict sinking count and tremor count. She has sinking tremor and gains protection on the third coin. Okay, another protection gain, a little bit more sinking, a little bit more tremor, a little bit of potency, a little bit of count. So far, so good. So far, so good. Very simple protection tank, aggro protection tank with some sinking application and tremor. Now we move on to the Vanguard. We'll see it done. We have a 3 coin Gloom, Pierce. Now this was a gun in the trailer, so we'll see if it actually has ammo. If the unit has Udjat Vanguard, deal more damage. Gain aggro this skill next turn. If target has sinking and tremor, gain coin power. Gain base power for every X LCA fracture round about to be spent by this skill. Okay, so she does have a unique ammo for her skill 3. After attack, she gains protection. After attack at X or fewer LCA rounds, she reloads. Okay, she does have a reload. Alright, she looks like she has a spend LCA fracture round. Deal the fracture round spent times X as percentage damage. The second coin will inflict... Oh my... inflict sinking count, inflict tremor, inflict sinking, inflict blue sand. Inflict gloom resist down. There's 5... It's 5 effects on 1 coin. Okay, I have seen that blue sand on the trailer. That was like the unique sinking effect, so that's interesting. I don't know what it does, though. The third coin also spends a fracture round, deals more damage on the round spent, inflicts normal sinking, and then triggers a tremor burst, reduces the tremor count. If the target has SP, trigger another tremor burst, then reduce the count again. If the target has less than X SP, inflict gloom fragility. Interesting. Okay, so she has a potential double tremor burst if the target has SP. Interesting. And also there's gloom resist and gloom fragility. So very gloom, potential gloom res. Like, are we gloom pilled in this streets? We might be gloom pilled in these streets. Very strong S3. Let's have a look at the Vanguard. The defense, composure, normal block. When hit with this unit has shield, inflict sinking against the attacker. Simple. On use, if the unit has Udjat Vanguard, gain protection. On use, for every X protection on self, gain shield equal to Y of the max HP. Okay, so far I've noticed that none of the skills give you this Udjat, so I'm curious if it's in the passives. Turn start, if an enemy has any of the panic type changing effects, gain the Udjat Vanguard. Also, the Scepter of Horus replica. I'm pretty sure that's Egyptian stuff. Egyptian god Horus. I don't remember what he does specifically. Is that death? I don't remember. No, that's... I don't know. Sorry. Someone in the comments tell me. Okay, so if enemy has a panic type, you gain the Udjat effect. If the unit has the Udjat effect, you inflict Shoot Fracture on hit with base attack skills. If an LCU round was spent, you will inflict additional Shoot Fracture with Fracture round spent. Interesting. Okay. We're going to have to figure out what these are. Protection stacks gained from this unit's base skills and the Vanguard effect are capped at X per turn. Okay, so you can only gain maybe a maximum of 3 protection or a maximum of 5 Udjat, whatever the cap is. So that's how we actually gain the effect. And then this is also for the Fracture. Okay, interesting. We're going to have to see what that does. That's her first passive. Her second passive, the Vanguard team. Deal more damage for every protection on self. Combat start, gain the Vanguard. Vanguard team. Interesting. Okay. Deal more damage for protection on self is very cool. That actually is a very useful way for tanks to be, you know, to scale with damage and stuff and modifiers. And also, we do gain a free stack of the Udjat. I assume that this will run out as the run out as the, you know, fight goes on, because you can actually gain more from here. Then we have the support passive. Combat apply protection to the next ally or allies with the lowest HP percentage. Oh my jeez. Are you kidding me? That's probably going to be a Gloom Res. There's no way that's not a Gloom Res. Combat start, though. No, yeah, that's awesome. To X-ally, or allies. Oh! Yeah, we all use an Eagle Eye on Outis. Wow. Excuse me. Okay. So far, very strong, looks like. Very, very good so far. Let's see what the second page is, because this is going to be very important. Alright, here is the Udjat Vanguard effect. Very big. Gain min and max speed. Okay. Combat start, gain protection. Cool. Gain the following effects during the combat phase. Capped per skill per turn. When this unit is the main target of an unopposed attack skill, halve the chance for the skill's first coin to flip heads. Clash start. In the first clash, halve the target's chance to flip heads for all its coins. What? For both of the above effects, if the main target uses a minus coin, halve their chance to flip tails. Oh, what? What? Am I reading this right? She just nullifies the 50-50. For anyone. When during the combat phase, it's capped. But what do you mean by it's capped? That's what I'm confused about. Capped per turn, per skill. Maybe only the first skill, I assume? So the first unit that unopposes you, the first coin has a 50-50 chance to hit heads. But if you're in a clash, the first clash, you just cut their ability to hit heads by 50%? Are we getting gnome passives with this one, dude? This is a Miracle of District 20 gnome level of plot armor right here. Oh my... That's the... Okay, and you get this at combat start, by the way, which means that you will have... Outis will have the... Arguably one of the best turn 0 clashes in the game. That's nuts. Okay. Okay. Hold on. We still have another effect to do, which is the Shoot Fracture, which is unique sinking. Excuse me. For every X of a stack, you take more damage when hit by Sloth and Gloom skills. At max stack, you gain Gloom fragility, and then take Gloom damage equal to sinking potency on self, lose count, then expire. If the unit with this effect dies, transfer half its stack to its allies, or allies with the highest SP. If there are no LCA identities on the field, expire. Okay, very interesting. So this is kind of like the La Mancha Land parade status that Prince Mersault inflicts, but so his one is like deal 10% extra lust damage, or deal 20% extra if it is Blood Fiends hitting it. But here it is, let's just say 10 or 20. Let's just say 10 for argument's sake. You know, they'll take 10% more damage just flat from Sloth and Gloom skills. And then if you hit the max of this assumed 10, you get Gloom fragility, you take Gloom damage equal to the sinking pot, which I think sounds a lot like the Deathray Venom. I think Deathray Venom does that, but for Gluttony, like when you pop the stack, you will, you know, explode the potency. It does reduce the count, but that's fine. And then you transfer its stack, so it's kind of like the Unloving status effect The unloving? That's the Kanto. It's like a lot of these status effects that used to look like Centipede Venom and whatever the Bygone Days one for Ishmael is, I don't remember. But yeah, so it transfers. So that's really good. And remember, you inflict this like all the time, according to the previous skills. Like you Clash Win, you inflict this. Basic attack skills, you inflict this. You have Vanguard, you inflict this. So you're always going to be inflicting it. So really, really interesting. Also, the fact that it expires if there are no LCA identities on the field. How really interesting. Now, that's really interesting. That's kind of cool, no? That's cool. I like that. That's interesting. Okay. It kind of rewards you for having her on the field. Okay. Now we have this blue sand. So this is a special one. On Clash Lose, gain sinking count. All right, well, GG's. All right, I'll see you guys next time. I'm kidding. Units with SP change their panic type to blue sand. Okay, so this is a panic type effect. Units without SP lose min-max speed. Turn and reduce stack. This effect is not cumulative. Inflicting it will replace the current value with its inflicted value. Apply the units without SP conditional, yada yada. Blue sand panic effect. Low morale, lose clash power, lose min-max speed. Panic, lose clash power, lose min-max speed. Okay, so this is she inflicts a unique SP type, which is blue sand, which is this is on her skill 3, right? And on Clash Lose, gain sinking count. I mean, that's pretty cool. Remember the other ones we have at the current moment are like Shadowbound or Shadowmark from Don Quixote, from her High Shodan, which increases gloom damage. Actually, I didn't even realize that's kind of similar to what this one does. I think that one is specifically gloom and gluttony. And that one, I think, reduces the defense level. I don't remember specifically. And then we have Echoes of the Mana, which is, every time you inflict sinking, that's probably the more important one you want to compare to this. Every time you inflict sinking, there's a 50-50 you inflict count. So here it's just, when they lose the clash, you inflict count. And considering how good Outis is at winning clashes, yeah, you're probably going to be inflicting a lot of sinking count. And then you have the Fracture Ammo, which is a unique ammo, spent by certain skills. Some attacks cancel if lacking ammo. Okay, that's very important. So this is not like the Full Stop or Twin Hook or LCCA Ryoshu or LCCA or LCCB Ryoshu and LCCB Ishmael. You will cancel the skill 3 when you activate this. Okay, this is interesting. Immediately, first thing I think of before we move on, and we'll come back to the TLDR, very strong. I think already. I think no matter what, it's always going to be very, these are going to be strong. But this Vanguard, status is just, that's crazy. This Vanguard gives her such a powerhouse on early turns. And the fact that she will be permanently inflicting this shoot fracture. Now, the only thing about it is, does this expire? It does reduce stack. It says turn and reduce stack. So the big thing is, you do refresh this, but you have to skill 3. Because obviously skill 3 is how you inflict the blue sand, right? As you can see here, blue sand right here. It is specifically on the second shot of the coin, which you do need ammo. Actually, do you need ammo? No, you don't. No, okay. So it's interesting, only the first coin and the third coin actually use ammo, which means that the second coin here, you will always be inflicting blue sand no matter what. It's also next turn. Okay. Wow, alright. She has a lot of damage modifiers from her passives. Obviously, having protection damage. She has modifiers from the shoot fracture, obviously permanent damage inflicted. The SP reduced, so she's going to be good at inflicting SP. Sinking count, she is more sinking orientated, obviously. Then Tremor. Her Tremor application is specifically from the shoot fracture, which is Sloth and Gloom. So this is pretty much the Sloth version of the Shadowmark from Don Quixote. Because her one is Gloom and Gluttony. Okay? Well, we will come back to this after we review Faust, because I have some thoughts on this. Good thoughts. I think this is very awesome. So we are going to move on now. We are going to go to Index Faust. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm excited for this one. I was super excited for Udjat Outis. It looks like they've done the Udjat proud. But let's see what they've done for Faust. Now, obviously, we knew already what Faust's skill affinities were because of the teaser. It is a Sloth, Pride, and a Gloom. We have a 2-coin Sloth, Mono Slash. Unerringly, as the prescript demands. If this 2-coin, if the skill is marked with the mark of the prescript, gain clash power and deal more damage. Gain coin power for every X poise and sinking. Oh, I knew it. I knew it, dude. Poise sinking. Welcome. More poise sinking. I think that's 3 poise sinking units now. 4. I think it's 3. Ishmael. And then there's another one that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Don't hunt me down. Yeah. Anyway. W. Poise. Las Marachi Sinclair. Okay. So yeah, this will be the 3rd one. So awesome. So let's see here. So on her first coin, she gains poise potency. She does gain poise count on skill 1. Second coin inflicts sinking, and then on crit she inflicts sinking potency. So just pure potency, and she gains coin power. Okay, super simple skill 1, but the most important part is the mark of the prescript. Skill 3, we have her pride. Undertake the prescript. Again, undertake. If the skill is marked with the mark of the prescript, gain final power. So that is the skill being marked is that like effect that was on the thing. So this gives her clash power. This gives final power. Gain coin power for every poise sinking on target, or poise on self sinking on target. On use gains poise and poise count. Her first coin gains poise. Her second one is sinking. Her third one is sinking and sinking count on crit specifically. So she's much more potency based already, I can tell, comparative to Outis, who is a lot more sinking count focused, obviously due to her what was it called again? The shoot mark or shirt mark, and then the skills. All right, so simple skill 2 for inflicting sinking potency and gaining poise. Now we have probably the 3 she has. Okay, she has a double. Okay, I'm getting overhead. The skill 3 is probably going to be the most important thing here. As the prescript demands you will be eliminated, it is a 3-coiner gloom slash. If the skill is marked with the prescript, gain final power and deal more damage on critical hits. She gains coin power for every poise on self sinking on target again. At combat start, at X grace of the prescript, convert all coins on this skill to unbreakable and deal more damage. She gains poise count on use. And then gain poise equal to the grace of the prescript divided by X. Okay, so she'll gain a bunch of poise count, she'll gain a bunch of poise. The first hit gains poise. The second hit inflicts sinking. The third one will deal more damage for every grace of the prescript, and then at Y grace of the prescript deal even more damage. And then it will also inflict sinking, and on crit, sinking count. Okay, so she is very crit focused for her sinking count, and this is just a big damage move. Now, pardon me that I was a bit distracted by this 3-coin counter. Hello? For free? Her greed sickens me. Her greed sickens me. So we're going to quickly have a look at that. Prescript granted. Prescript woven fabric. 3-coin gloom counter. This is a normal counter. Gain final power and deal more damage for every grace of the prescript. Combat start, she gains shield equal to the percent of her max HP. Reduce the shield gain for every karmic consequence. And at Y karmic consequence, don't gain shield. Gain poise. Inflict sinking. Okay. Let's have a little looky in the bookie here then. What is karmic consequences? What is grace of the prescript? What is all of this? She has 3 passives, almost Codion level. First, we have prescript delivered on paper slips. Turn start. Oh my goodness. Gain prescripts, paper slip 1, 2, 3, or 4 based on the grace of prescript on self. You will inflict the prescript target to a random enemy. In focus encounters the part. You will then apply mark of the prescript to a base attack skill on this unit's dashboard. At a certain grace of the prescript, the effect above prioritizes skill 3s. All of the effects above and the prescript execution checks do not trigger when this unit is staggered, immobilized, in panic, or ego corrode. Okay. Pardon me? So, this grace of the prescript, however much of this prescript you get, is what level of paper slip you receive. You then inflict at turn start, you will inflict an enemy with the target. That is the little star on them. You also apply mark of the prescript, which is the buff to yourself, and at a certain grace of level, it will prioritize skill 3s. And then you do not trigger these when you are staggered, immobilized, panic, or corrosion. Now, it doesn't say when you use ego. So you might be able to use ego like Hanafu to Ishmael. But I don't know. We'll have to wait on that. Alright, so let's move on to her third passive now. As you can see here, we have Will of the Prescript, baby. Turn end. If the Prescript was executed this turn, you will heal SP and gain a grace of the Prescript. When executing the prescript, if the main target has the prescript target, heal more SP and gain more grace of the prescript. Okay, you are benefited for attacking your prescripts. You are benefited for hitting your target, and you are benefited from using your specific skill, and you get double the benefit if you use both. However, if the prescript was not executed, you will gain karmic consequence. And then at a certain grace of prescript, you don't gain karmic consequences. If this unit attempted to execute the prescript at combat start but could not target the enemy during the turn, you don't gain karmic consequence. So, TLDR, if someone else kills your enemy while you are targeting them, you do not get karmic consequences. This appears to be only if you lose the clash. Pretty much. Or they evade you. So if they evade you, or you lose the clash, or maybe... No, because shield wouldn't prevent that. It doesn't say deal damage. But we're going to figure out what this karmic consequence is. Then we have the... Oh, sorry, that was her second passive. Now we have a third passive. Which is... Oh my jeez. Proselyte Blade. Deal more damage with skills marked with the mark of the prescript for every grace of the prescript on self. At Y grace of the prescript, she'll deal even more damage with her base skills. On hit with a base skill, against targets with the target, the prescript target, she gains poise and inflicts sinking. Increase the number of times this effect can trigger per turn. Okay, so maybe it triggers once, then twice, then 3 times, and 4 times, etc. At X, grace of the prescript, she will inflict more potency, and this unit gains more poise. Okay, so she is very clearly heavily focused as a potency unit. This would be the comparison with Butler Faust, who is a sinking count unit most focusedly. She is sinking poise and sinking potency, my bad. She is sinking poise, but mainly sinking potency. As the prescript orders the support passive, effect applies to the identity with the earliest deployment order. Prioritize the index identities. Yeah, you ain't slick, ProjectMoon, Sir Kim Ji-hoon. You are not slick, bro. How many more index? We're gonna be getting a whole army of index IDs. But let's read what this does first. Combat staff, the unit's leftmost skill on the dashboard, and other allies target the same enemy slot, and wait, okay. If the leftmost skill on your dashboard and other allies target the same slot, your skill will deal percentage damage for every ally targeting the same slot, excluding this own unit. Applies when the unit and allies both use base attack skills to the main target. Okay. TLDR, if Faust, Don Quixote, and Heathcliff all target the same attack, you will gain maybe 5% or 2% per target. So 2% for Don, 2% for Heath. You don't get 2% for yourself, so you deal initial 4% damage as a reference. Okay. And also, prioritize the index IDs. Oh, we're going to be jumping everybody with this one, dude. Oh my goodness. Okay. But we have the second page, which... Oh my jeez! So cute. Oh, she's so cute. Okay. Calm down. Calm down. The prescript. Receive the prescript paper slip under specific conditions. Alright, we'll have a whole ass mechanic with this one. So just like Hanafu to Ishmael's gambling mechanic. Prescript 1. Use a skill marked with the mark of prescript or hit a target with the marked skill. At turn start, at X to Y prescript, you gain this effect. Maximum stackable grace with this prescript is limited to Z. Ah, interesting. So you do have to do different things. Oh my goodness, we have to play a whole ass new game with this one. Okay. So, first one, use a skill, and you gain this at an X amount level. The second skill, you have to hit a target with a skill marked with the mark of the prescript. So you need to have hit them, so they're buff. So this one says use a skill marked with mark of the prescript, or hit a target with a marked skill. This one says you have to hit a target with a skill marked with the prescript, so you have to 100% use a skill here. 100% you can't hit a target with a marked skill. You will also gain grace of the prescript. You gain this effect, you get a maximal stack up to a certain amount. The third one is hit a target with Ego Awakening skill or skill 3 with mark of the prescript. Okay. Use your ego to level up, buddy. Lose your I'm sorry? Eliminate all enemies before the next prescript arrives. What? Kill all enemies before the next one arrives. What if there's like 10 enemies? Hey, bro. I don't care how many enemies there are, dude. Hey, Faust. Hurry up, The prescript demands you murder. Okay, it's the final buff for a reason, I guess. Okay, I do like that they allow you with this ego, though, so you can ego a skill 3. That's good. That's consistency with Hanafuda. Okay, we have Mark of the Prescript, which is apply Mark of the Prescript to a base skill on this unit's dashboard. We have the Prescript target, which will mean takeable damage from the index units. Yeah, you're not hiding from me, little bro. This effect is applied to a single target every turn, regardless of the number of the index units deployed. Oh my god, they can't. They just, they can't hide this. We are actually getting a full team of index in Season 7. Oh, it's so cook. Then we have Grace of the Prescript. We get offense level for every stack. So obviously we'll get more and more. So the reason that you want to do these is because your Grace is capped. So if you want the maximum amount of offense level, you need to murder everyone. And then we have Karmic Consequences. Wow, we actually have a debuff. Gain defense level down for every stack and gain fragile for every Y stack. This is just a straight debuff. My phone buzzed. Sorry about that. We very rarely ever get an ID. Sorry, I'm just going to answer this phone real quick. We rarely ever, if ever, get an ID, that gives you actual consequences. Like, this is a straight consequence. There's no buff. Having Karma is bad. You do not ever want Karma on her, except if you're using her counter, I guess. Because you actually lose shield. Yeah, don't fail your prescripts, little bro. Okay, some might see that as a massive L, but I guess it depends. Well, it depends how hard of a situation it is for you to not get your prescript in. Wow. Okay. There's a lot to talk about with this. Okay, let's talk about the TLDR now. So first things first. Udjat Outis, what I think? Aggro tank, protection. She is sinking. Count focused. Sinking count focused, she has a unique debuff. Obviously, she works perfectly amazingly, even with Faust, by the way. Has probably one of the most overpowered effects early on in the game, which is this Vanguard effect. Her skills you just don't flip heads. Just GG. The enemy team just doesn't flip heads. You turn into the gnome from Miracle in District 20. You know what the gnomes do? The gnomes have a 45% chance to roll heads when there are like 6 gnomes in the field with them. Yeah, that's what you do, but you're the opposite. The shoot fracture is insanely nice, very good. It's a mini version of the blue sand. Well, not really. It's a mini version of Don Quixote's effect, which is like a panic type. I like the idea of, obviously, there's like 3 panic types now, so you have much more variety with gaining this Vanguard. Now, this Vanguard is probably going to be very hard for you to maintain. I'm not going to lie to you. It's probably going to be like maybe max of 2 or max of 1, because you can refresh it if you have panic types on the enemy. You inflict the shoot fracture, very strong. Her skills are very strong. She has a lot of damage modifiers. Protection. Obviously, she gets a lot of protection from her block. Oh, not from her block. Oh, no. No. Yeah, she doesn't get... No, yeah, she does. Protection from her block. Every skill gives her protection. Every clash gives her debuffing. She's probably the strongest out of the 2 because she is the main banner. But, like, who cares? I'd win, right? Doesn't matter. Who cares if they're stronger than each other? This is sick. This is awesome. Okay? So, the Vanguard see it done. Her skill 3 is very strong. Definitely, this thing is going to do numbers, by the way. I can already tell. Amazing passives. Amazing passive, amazing effects. Faust, she looks the funnest one, dude. Hitting the prescript, I'm gonna have to go to Dante, be like, Dante, can you please let me wipe out all of the enemies? The prescript demands it. Thank you. And then just like, but playing the game where you have to actually you have to follow the prescript, that's fun. I hope all the index, it looks like all the index are gonna have maybe this type of mechanic. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the exact prescript. This is a paper slip version. Maybe there's a different one. Maybe there's like a prescript manga dex or something. It's like an online version of the prescript, dude. But if this is going to be what all of the prescripts have, like all of the users have, cool. It's not super punishing. It looks punishing at first because of this karmic consequence, but you only get karmic if you fail the clash completely, which you are a sinking ID, so you have benefits over, or if they evade. That's it. If the enemies die before you can attack them, you don't get it. And if they have shield, it doesn't matter because you don't have to do damage, you just have to hit them. But yeah, she looks very strong. Also, her poise looks very good, by the way. I guess the biggest thing will be how much count she gets, but count on skill 1, count on skill 2, count on skill 3, poise, so much poise potency in her base skills. Yeah, she's going to be doing numbers. Outis is the sinking count unit. This is the potency unit. a very good substitute toward to Faust if you don't want to use your Butler Faust because maybe you have too much count already. Also, the index IDs, the index IDs, the index IDs. Yeah, you ain't slick. We get more index IDs. We're gonna get so much more index IDs. 3 coin counter, which is really funny, by the way. Yeah. So a lot of shield, by the way. This is like She Faust. She gets a lot of shield. Very kind of tanky, maybe surprisingly tanky, to guarantee her prescripts or something. But yeah, no, like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm so excited. This is sick. This is good. This is awesome, guys. This looks good, and I hope you guys pull. I hope you guys get your pull. If you want to see any more discussion about these IDs, by the way, I will be live streaming and we'll be going over there and doing it there. Good luck with your pulls, and I'll see you all later. Take care. That's it.